Welcome today to discuss the Pharma Prospects with Bob McIlvaine. I'm the president of the McIlvaine Company, and we're pleased to tell you about a service that has been tweaked and I think targeted now to those of you with interest in all the pharmaceutical projects around the world and flow and treat products to sell to the suppliers of pharmaceutical manufacturers. So that way that this is structured, the information on this particular subject, which is pharmaceutical prospects, is in our databases. So you can see up at the top of the screen here, we have markets, databases, information on people, and other services. So this would be Pharma Prospects. It's one of the first ones that's up there. Let's click on that. And we will look first at the overview of the service, and the service is called A3AI Pharma Prospects, 1,600 a year. There are alerts every couple times a week, and then a whole database with information on it. And additional subscribers are $90 a year. So to receive the several times a week alerts, you need an extra $90 per subscriber there. So the weekly alerts and intelligence system provides suppliers of air, water, and process equipment, as well as consumables, with a program to pursue pharmaceutical and biotechnology opportunities on a worldwide basis. This basic data is just the first step in a whole industrial Internet of Wisdom approach, which allows you to collaborate with other suppliers and then to pull in customers rather than push them for an order. Let's take a look at what the structure of the pharmaceutical industry. And biopharm is so big these days that we've selected biopharm versus other as a way to segment the pharmaceutical industry. And then within those two major categories, there are various other categories, and we're following all these projects. Some of them involve more dry type filtration and movement of solids, others mostly just liquids. So the type of information that we're putting in the whole system are plant owners, the new plants and existing plants, details on the plants themselves, and details on the processes. And we're covering new projects, new plants, complementary equipment, and for the particular supplier, it may be competitive equipment, as well as the processes in which that equipment is sold. And so, for instance, on the water side, you've got pre-filtration, cooling, ultra-pure water, wastewater, and this doesn't include process filtration, which we'll talk about in a minute. But you would have cartridges, centrifuges, controls and instrumentation, deionization, filter presses, instrumentation, pumps, reverse osmosis with microfiltration and ultrafiltration, softening, treatment chemicals, and valves. Then on the air side, you've got heating, ventilating, and air conditioning. You've got drying. You've got filtration of air and gases. And then you've got the cleaning. So those are the process steps there. And you would have biosafety cabinets, clean rooms, compressors, controls, dust filters. There'd be electrostatic precipitators and scrubbers also for the air cleaning, fans, instrumentation, isolators, pneumatic conveyors, and restricted access barrier systems, RABS. And then you've got a whole process category where you have slurries and other non-water or air liquids, and you would be separating, filtering, evaporating, and transporting these slurries. So the equipment and chemicals used in processing are often required to have a higher performance, or certainly a different performance than you have in the air and in water applications. So these are the areas of coverage. And then the way it works is we have the multi alerts per week. So let's click on a sample here. So you've got these are the headlines in this particular semi-weekly issue, and we have new projects, and we have the details on some purchases of flow and treat equipment and services at some of these projects or at existing plants. And then there's 15 pages or so of analysis of it. And for instance, in this particular Asgard coverage, we show this clean room that is installed there, and who was the engineer and the main contractors, and walk-on ceilings and some of the other activities there. So you get a pretty good feel of what's going on in a lot of these projects. So that is the one of the examples there in the prospects. So then let's take a sample profile. So we do keep the profiles up there as well. And so this is Gilead, and we have various different information on Gilead and what they're doing. As you can see here, we're kind of just go down through that quickly, skip down through some of these slides, give you an idea of the coverage, and try to analyze, what types of drugs they're manufacturing and where they're manufacturing them, and what's new and in the pipeline. As you can see here, a number of things. So you get an overview of the corporation and what they're doing. And we do get into some of the specific things that are going on relative to the facilities to make these products and initiatives that they have underway. And so this is part of the profiles that we are also showing there. So let's move out of the Gilead profiles there. So this gives you, I think, an idea of, if you want to go back and review the promotional material, these are where you would be finding that information. But once you subscribe to the service, then you go up here where it says subscriber login, and then we would go down under subscriber login. You'll get the password directly to it, but if you lose that, you can then go down alphabetically in all our services here. This happens to be in our air service. We listed this in our air services under Pharma Prospects. And so then you can go through, the alerts every couple of weeks going back, for years here. And here was the March 4th. I think you've seen that one. Let's go to March 11th. And again, it's the same sort of combination of information about new plants and equipment and services that are going into existing plants. It allows you to go back a long way. So you can go back, for instance, to January of 2020 if you want to, and find out all the projects that were being invested in at the time. So this is an example there. And then the profiles that we're talking about, we showed you the Gilead ad, but we have them on a number of the other companies as well. Another very interesting opportunity is to go in, starting back with March 11th, and just skim back by headlines and you can see if anything that you've missed in the last few issues, and then you can click, on the issue itself there where it's underlined. So that is another very convenient aspect. But again, this key word is very important. So, first, if you want to find out what we've been writing about Merck and clean rooms, you would go in under Merck and then clean rooms to make sure that it shows you just articles that have both in it. And it talks about where they're investing in facilities and so forth. Vcon pods in one of their newer facilities and things there. So that's another way to look at it. You can also look at it geographically too, which is something would be common. So let's just say you go into China in 2020 just to see what we might have been writing about Chinese activity in 2020. So you get about 65 results there. So you're able to go in on a number of different ways. And I think that this is something that you can be using on a daily basis if you want to get a quick answer to something. And again, with the several times a week getting the most recent alerts. So we think that this is a very good way not only to track all the new projects, but to be aware of what other flow and treat companies are doing. Some of them may be customers of yours, some of them may be competitors, some of them you may want to collaborate with. But in any case, we believe this service is well worth the modest yearly amount, and we welcome any questions that you have. My name is Bob McIlvaine, and I'd be happy to talk to you at 847-226-2391. Thank you for your attention.